Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, beautiful people, peace and blessings. Pray you're doing well, inshallah. I didn't get to film the intro to Ramadan Rewind, but right now I'm on tour in London and I had to upload the first episode, so here we are recording the intro like this, inshallah. Three things, I'm gonna try to keep it underneath a minute. First and foremost, Ramadan Rewind. Some of you guys may know that I have a podcast called Dear Muslim. This is a segue off of that. It's not its own podcast, just another series. And the purpose of it, inshallah, is to make sure that one, although Ramadan has left us, we don't lose its essence in our life. And we make sure that because Allah gave us this Ramadan, we make sure that we hold on to it, the habits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled us to have in it. And we make sure that that Ramadan serves as the most transformative part of our life this year, inshallah, until next Ramadan. Secondly, this series, Ramadan Rewind, is in collaboration with Tahliq Institute. Tahliq meaning flight, and specifically focusing on tahliqun nafs, the flight of the nafs, and making sure that we're ever so getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not being stagnant, not being mediocre, so, and being from among those who are closest to Him in this life, so that we may be from the closest in the next, inshallah. Tahliq Institute is my non-profit organization, alhamdulillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled me to create. And the focus of this is to create content that enables people, doesn't matter where we are on our journey with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it's coming to Allah or coming closer to Allah, catering to that, inshallah, in a way that makes you attached to the religion if you aren't already, inshallah. So in the link below, support the work, help the da'wah, inshallah, so that we may so that those donations, through the will and permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may enable us to do more quality work and continue the work in a more constant basis with a higher output, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thing number three, be patient with myself, be patient with my brothers who I've brought onto this, inshallah. It's their first time in front of a camera in a setting like this, and inshallah, as the episodes progress, we will get better, and so will the show. So Jazakumullahu khairan. Welcome to Ramadan Rewind.
Yeah.
So the first brother I'm going to introduce you to is my brother Sean. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, brother, wa rahmatullah. Man, we got a lot of stuff in the way, you know. I don't want to knock anything down. You know how long it took us to set this up.
How you doing, bro?
Good, man, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Before I get, look, okay, anyways, yeah, so I've known Sean for like, what, two, three?
Yeah, since Ramadan.
Yeah, we met in Ramadan, this Ramadan, and we became brothers instantly, mashallah, barakallah.
MashaAllah.
I see him way too much throughout the week, but I enjoy it though, bro. I love you.
Love you too, bro.
For the sake of
most of the time.
For the sake of Allah.
For the sake of Allah, yes.
The second brother I want to introduce you to, without making him feel left out, you know, we just carried on the conversation, is my brother Sadiq.
I already feel left out.
We love it. We still love you, bro. It's fine. We love you.
How you doing, bro?
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, brother. How are you?
Y'all know each other?
Nice to meet you.
Alhamdulillah.
Sean,
yes.
Sadiq, Sean.
Oh, assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah.
So Sadiq, y'all know I've known him for a decade, at least. Mashallah, barakallah. You guys have probably seen him in the video we did not too long, or actually it was a while ago, A Night with the Homeless.
Yes.
You've seen him on my podcast before. You've probably seen him on my Instagram stories, you know, traveling together this past Ramadan, alhamdulillah. Before we get into this, can we just admire where we are? Mashallah, barakallah. We on this boat in the middle of the sea. How you guys feeling?
Good, man. I mean, you know how many tries it took us to get out here, but we didn't give up.
Month and a half.
We've been trying to do this since basically the end of Ramadan, because the whole point of this is, you know, I'll let Brother Faisal explain that. But yeah, I mean, we didn't give up. We didn't give up. Alhamdulillah, we just kept trying.
We've been trying for a month and a half. Every week, we would come out for this, and I particularly, actually, what happened was Ilyas was visiting us.
Right.
Ilyas Mal,
yes.
Nasheed artist from Canada. He was visiting us, and he wanted to go on a boat. So I hit up Sean, and Sean was like, I know what to do. So we brought Ilyas out on a boat, and then while we were just chilling, we were having a beautiful day together. We were like, the idea came out like, yo, we should film on the boat if we've got access to a boat, and that's where the idea for the podcast to be filmed here came up, because initially it was to be in my studio.
Correct.
But I was like, this is so much better. We out here in the beautiful nature and creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We got dolphins around us, and the weather's beautiful, mashallah, barakallah. So alhamdulillah, I'm really grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this has finally materialized and He's finally facilitated it for us. Cause bro, y'all saw how drained I was getting.
We were all drained, brother.
And bro, like, respect to you guys mostly, because they're just coming out to be a part of this, you know, and inshallah this serves as a means of benefit for a lot of people, and most importantly ourselves as well.
Inshallah.
And we ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts from us.
Ameen.
And this isn't just something we end up recording, and it doesn't actually have any benefit on us, you know. So before we begin, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this beneficial, impactful, and cleansing for us first and foremost. And I ask Allah to put the most amount of barakah in it and allow it to weigh heavy on our scale of good deeds in this life and the next. So yeah, man, month and a half later, there's no such thing as finally. This was Allah's timing, and alhamdulillah we here. So like he said, this was supposed to happen right after Ramadan. I wanted to record it in Ramadan because I wanted the reflections to be fresh. I wanted the input to be raw, and not to say that it won't be that now, but alhamdulillah. And the purpose of this Ramadan rewind is for us to stay in touch with Ramadan. Ramadan has left us, but its essence should never leave us. Right. And that's the purpose of this portion of Dear Muslim, because Ramadan rewind is a segment off of Dear Muslim, the podcast. So with that being said, you can go first. How was your Ramadan, bro?
Alhamdulillah, bro. I think it's probably one of the best Ramadans I've had.
Yeah.
You know, got to pray, got to spend time with the family. You know.
Was Ramadan not like that for you before?
It was different. Let's just say it was a little bit different. I was just busy with work most of the time for a lot of years. But this year, alhamdulillah, Allah gave me the opportunity to spend it with my mom and dad in a way where I was able to go to the masjid with them, pray. And it was a great feeling, man. I'll tell you that much. It was worth a lot more than what I was getting when I was working.
I feel you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're from. We'll get back to you. How was your Ramadan, bro?
Alhamdulillah. You know, for me, my mother passed away 7 years ago.
Oh, subhanAllah.
And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, grant her the highest place in Jannah. Ameen. She loved Ramadan with all her heart, and every year she would go all out. I mean, she would just make all kinds of progression in her iman and for this Ramadan. So for me, whenever I start Ramadan, I remember my mother. And since she's no longer here, it's, for me, I make a lot more effort.
You're trying to keep what Ramadan was for her alive within yourself.
100%, no.
So was she like did she define Ramadan for you? As in how one should be, or how you should feel when you're a part of Ramadan?
Absolutely, because as you know, throughout the year, you know, we have our shortcomings, you know, every one of us. And when Ramadan hit, she was like a new person, like a newborn. And she never let anything, including her shortcomings, get in the way, because she knew the value. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her the value of Ramadan, some understanding of it. So alhamdulillah.
I only had a couple conversations with your mom.
Yeah.
I think maybe one, if not two. But I clearly remember the joy and happiness, the constant happiness and just liveliness in her voice, mashallah, barakallah. So I can't imagine what she must have been like in Ramadan, you know? So mashallah, barakallah, that's beautiful, man. Alhamdulillah. I'm glad that you have something like that you resort to. So because a lot of the times as humans, we don't have something else that we can look at when we ourselves are not in a place that we recognize we're not supposed to be, right? So let's just say I'm not having a good Ramadan. What you have in that moment is you can remember your mother and be like, Mom used to look at Ramadan like this. Mom used to do Ramadan like this, you know? And that's a beautiful thing. So you said, bro, we forgot about me. My Ramadan, alhamdulillah, was it was different. It was different.
And what made it different?
I would say it was definitely the more beautiful Ramadans in my life, if not the best Ramadan in my life. And the reason I say that is because although in my previous Ramadans I had other things going on, that, you know, if I told somebody, you know, this Ramadan I got to do this, or this Ramadan I had this opportunity, or this is what was happening this Ramadan, if I told somebody that, they would be like, wow, that must have been a really amazing Ramadan. But the reality is that, like, I was not okay. I had a lot going on in those other Ramadans. Spiritually is an entirely different conversation, but psychologically and things that I must have been going through and whatever have you, I was not okay. I was not grounded. And this Ramadan, after like what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done to me in the last year and a half, and the way He's changed my life, it really played a huge role in how this Ramadan went. And I'm really thankful to Allah for that.
Alhamdulillah. That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah. So, since Ramadan's finished, well, actually, in Ramadan, what did you do differently, bro?
You wanna go? Oh, me? Oh,
anybody can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
You play rock paper scissors real quick. Whatever you want.
Well, I just, alhamdulillah, I made all out effort, you know, to do more than what I did the last Ramadan, because making it to Ramadan is a mercy from Allah. It's a gift from Allah that not everybody gets to experience. So I read more Quran, you know, I traveled, alhamdulillah, I did so much dhikr.
Yep.
I just pushed it to the limit. And then when I got to the limit, I went past the limit for the sake of Allah. Because, you know, you never know if it could have been your last Ramadan. So that's one of the reasons, alhamdulillah, that I made all out effort. Yourself? What did you do different this Ramadan?
What did you do differently this Ramadan?
Also, I want to say excuse us if the footage is a little shaky. As you can see, there's boats that are going by. I keep looking, and it's like I know the waves are coming and I know the cameras, but anyways.
I'm sorry for the wind.
So excuse us if there's a little bit of wind. I mean, we are out in the open. So this Ramadan, what was the question?
Yeah, what did you do?
What did you do different this Ramadan?
What did I do different, bro?
And be open, guys. Be raw. Like, you can share whatever you want. You can not share whatever you like.
Right. So I mean, like I said earlier, man, I was able to actually go to the masjid. I fasted before, obviously every Ramadan. I will always fast, alhamdulillah. But it was more like just kind of fast and go home and go to sleep, and then you wake up. Right,
do it all over again.
Because you know what I do is usually like a second or third shift. So this year, however, when I fasted, I made sure to pray my Fajr, and most of the time it was at the masjid, as you know. And then I woke up in time to pray basically the rest of the 4 prayers, alhamdulillah. Did that different. Like I said, I spent a lot of time with my parents, so I had my parents come down, fly down from Connecticut, and spent the last I believe it was like the 10 or 12 days. Just being able to go to the masjid with them every day, it was just can't really explain, can't put it in words, the feeling. So
Ramadan's obviously a beautiful time, bro.
Right.
Ramadan, like, there's a lot of things that people look forward to when Ramadan's coming around. A lot of the times it's not the right stuff. Right. Like, and obviously as we get older and we have families or whatever, it's important that we make Ramadan for our families what it should be, right? So a lot of the times, like, going into Ramadan, people will be looking forward to the gatherings that they'll have, or the people they'll get to link up with that they haven't seen in forever, or Ramadan hasn't even come here yet, but they're already planning their Eid outfits, and
right.
There's nothing wrong with that. But we tend to not make the most of Ramadan or even approach it correctly because we don't see it the way we should see it.
Right. It ends up becoming eat, sleep, and repeat. In some ways, that's
yeah.
Bro, that's what we did when we were growing up. We were like, all right, you kind of like adjust your schedule, right? So you're like, all right, so I can eat and go to bed, and I don't have to wake up again until like it's almost time to eat again,
Absolutely.
Unless if you had school or college, but other than that, outside of like your job or anything, usually people just kind of ease through it, or sometimes people would look at it as in like, all right, they start counting down how many days are left. Like you say, to rock the Eid outfit, or to look forward to like what Eid party is going on, and it's kind of like more excited about that, and that kind of makes you overlook, the time that you have to take. Honestly, bro, this was probably the first year when I was actually sad.
Oh, why?
When Ramadan was coming to an end.
Oh, to an end, okay.
Yeah, it's usually like, all right, like you said, right? Like we talked about, like, all right, where's the Chandra, right? The Eid Eve party, you know, or what am I gonna wear to the that party, and then, you know, the outfit. I didn't really care about any of that stuff this year, man.
Alhamdulillah.
So it was more like, how can I take advantage of the time that I have at the moment? Because, I mean, I really actually felt this year that I may not get another Ramadan. You know?
And to me, you know, one of the things that I made a comparison was how Ramadan equals like a bonus stage.
Right.
In a video game. For example, you have Mario. When you get up in the sky, right, he gets a chance to get as many coins as possible. And that's Ramadan, because everything that we do is multiplied. The reward is multiplied.
Correct.
But like the bonus stage, it has an end. It runs out. And as fast as it begins, it seems as fast as it's over. Right. So for me, I found myself just trying to do as much as I possibly could for the sake of Allah. You know, we're here because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed it. So when Allah give you an opportunity like Ramadan, you know, we have to, you know, take special care of it and get as much benefit as we possibly can out of it.
With that, I'm going to end this episode.
Okay.
Inshallah. We will continue on the next episode, inshallah, Ramadan Rewind. We'll pick up the conversation right here.
Inshallah.
And
inshallah.
I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate everybody who's listening, either on Apple Podcast or any other podcast or platform where this podcast is available. This podcast is available on all streaming platforms, alhamdulillah. And or if you're just watching this on YouTube, I appreciate you. I appreciate you as well. And
subscribe.
Yes. Subscribe.
That's right. And hit the like button.
Hit the
I always want to say that.
Hit the like
button. Share
it
too. Share it, like it, subscribe
and
it.
reflect most of all.
May Allah make it a leave a comment, because Tuto's saying that behind the camera.
That's right.
Tuto said leave a comment. And,
tag your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Anyways,
tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yalla. Next episode, sit down with your mom, your dad, your uncle, your auntie, your granddaughter, everybody, and inshallah, we're gonna keep this conversation going. We don't want to lose Ramadan in our lives, especially the one that just passed, and we're gonna make sure that it was a Ramadan that actually changed us and it actually transformed us, and it wasn't just another Ramadan that came in our life and we just let it go, boom, month over, that's all it was. This isn't Ramadan came, we lived a life, and now we're gonna go back to how we were. We're not doing that this time. We're not doing that this time, inshallah. So see you on the next episode of Ramadan Rewind. Until then, don't forget to smile, stay humble, and take it easy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace. All right. That was beautiful. That was good.